Imagine a man sitting alone with his thoughts, staring at a flame that refuses to go out. The world outside moves, but in that moment, he's still. Thinking, questioning, feeling the weight of something no one dares say out loud. You've been there, late at night. The taste of unspoken confusion on your tongue. You ask yourself a question most people don't have the courage to even whisper. What do women really want? Not in the movies, not in self-help books, not in the trendy podcasts that slap lipstick on neurosis and sell it as empowerment. But deep down, beneath it all, what do they hunger for, really? And maybe, just maybe, you're brave enough to dig further? Because you've noticed something terrifying. Despite all the progress, the freedom, the dating apps with infinite swipes, men and women understand each other less than ever. There's a chasm between what women say they want and what they actually desire. And in that gap, marriages crumble. Men are poisoned by resentment. Women suffocate in confusion. Everyone loses, but it doesn't have to be this way. Today, we go deeper than you've ever dared, because one man over 2,000 years ago had already seen it. Socrates, the man who questioned everything, even desire, and the answer he hinted at? It will shake you. But it can also set you free, if you're willing, to unlearn everything you've been told. Let's start here. The world today tells you women want security, equality, and a nice guy who listens, supports, and stays in his emotional lane. Translation? Be soft, be safe, and above all, don't trigger her trauma. You've heard this. You've tried it. You shrank yourself. You smiled more. You stopped challenging her. But deep down, something burned inside you. It didn't work. She pulled away. She said you were too nice. She loved your kindness, but desire died between you. You were taught to be harmless, and then wondered why she didn't want you. Here's the truth we're not allowed to say anymore. Safety is not the same as attraction. Comfort is not the same as connection. You feel this, don't you? Somewhere beneath the layers of cultural programming, there's a voice inside you, screaming, because the feminine soul doesn't crave a servant. It longs for a match. Let's go back to Socrates, the man who tore apart reality with questions sharper than daggers. He didn't seduce with charm. He didn't flex power. He wasn't wealthy. But women, powerful, intelligent women, were drawn to him, captivated. Why? Because Socrates gave something modern men have forgotten how to give: depth, mystery, tension. He didn't tell you what you wanted to hear. He asked you who you truly were. He didn't chase validation. He pursued truth, even when it was brutal, even when it hurt. That kind of man ignites something ancient in a woman. See, Socrates lived in constant dialogue with the soul. Not the masks, not the games, but the raw, unedited self we spend our whole lives trying to hide. And here's the paradox. What women really want, they don't know how to say. Not because they're manipulative, but because the feminine doesn't live in formulas. It thrives in feeling. Logic asks for answers. Desire asks for presence. What Socrates understood is that a woman doesn't just want to be loved. She wants to be met, to be seen by a man who refuses to play a part, who doesn't bend just to earn her softness. She wants a man who, even in the face of her storms, holds his ground. Not to control her, but to reveal her. But of course we've forgotten. Modern culture has amputated the masculine by shaming every quality that once made it noble. Strength, fearlessness, resolve, leadership, polarity. We mock these now, label them toxic. Tell boys they're dangerous for embodying the very energy that once moved empires. And women? They're told to be everything at once, nurturing and ruthless, delicate but dominant, wild yet controlled. It's schizophrenia wrapped in feminism. No one can meet an ideal this fractured, and everyone pretends like this is normal. Men are demonized for wanting feminine women. Women are ridiculed for wanting a man who leads. We've created a culture that punishes truth. And the cost? Loneliness disguised as freedom. Every year, more women find themselves successful, but spiritually starving. Every year, more men feel invisible, afraid to lead, love, or even desire out loud. But here's the thing, no one tells you. Buried beneath all the noise, the old wiring still pulses. The feminine still yearns to surrender, not to weakness but to presence. And the masculine aches to be chosen for who he really is, not who he's pretending to be. So where do you go from here? You stop lying. You stop performing. You start doing the hardest thing a man can do in this broken world. Become real. You don't become who women want. You become who you were meant to be, before this culture castrated your spirit. Read philosophy. Train your body. Build something you believe in. Wake up before the world tells you who to be. Most men are sleepwalkers, waiting for permission. Be the man who wakes up even if it burns. You don't argue with women about what they want. You listen. Not to their words, but to their energy, their contradictions. And then, you do the unthinkable. You hold your ground. Not to win. Not to manipulate. But to mirror what they forgot they were searching for. A man who meets them, fully aware of himself. Nothing less. Nothing fake. Nothing performative. Let me leave you with this. No woman will ever love you for the man you pretend to be. She may settle, she may stay, but something in her will die. Women don't need perfect men. They need awake men. Socrates never claimed to be a god. But what made him unforgettable, irresistible, was his relentless devotion to truth. The man who dares to face himself, his rage, his fears, his hunger, his dreams, who refuses to be tamed by opinion. That man becomes archetypal. He becomes mythic. He becomes what she never knew she needed. So the next time you look at her, don't ask, what does she want? Ask instead, who do I have to become? That the truth in her finally rises to meet mine. Because the hidden truth is, she is waiting for you to remember who you are. So stop asking, start becoming, and watch everything change. Fade to black. Music swells. Text appears on screen. The unexamined life is not worth living. Socrates. Call to action. Voiceover slowly returns. If this made you uncomfortable, good. That means you're listening. Subscribe. Share this with someone who needs to wake up. And leave your thoughts below, if you still dare to think them. This isn't just content. It's a reawakening. Welcome to the fire.